Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be discussing the importance of having a great self-concept and how that goes hand in hand with your outer reality. So first things first, I'm going to jump right into it. I want you to ask yourself, what is the story that you are telling yourself on your day-to-day basis? It is so important to not let your external circumstances determine the inner stories that you're telling yourself. Yes, things may be looking absolutely crazy on the outside, but it all comes down to the story you are telling yourself. Because if you are constantly telling yourself that your outer circumstances are not going to change, or if they're so hard, or if life is a struggle, or nothing works out for you, I hate to break it to you, but that's literally how things are going to be for you. But if you decide that you're going to change that story, and even if things are not going the way they're supposed to be or the way you desire, that you're going to tell yourself you are the luckiest person alive, that things are always working out in your favor, things are changing, people are able to change, you will notice over time that everything you are telling yourself will become a reflection on the outside. But you have to change the story. You will feel delusional and crazy telling yourself these things because you're so used to living and telling yourself that same story. But you are the one that has power to change that story. You need to realize that your mind has so much power when it comes to living on this earth. You are a source from the Creator, God, and you are the one that determines the way things look externally. So if you are constantly telling yourself negativity and constantly telling yourself that things are not working out, girl, they're not going to work out. You have to decide that you don't want to live this story anymore. You have to decide that you are ready to create a new story for yourself, but that starts with you. So really monitor what stories you're telling yourself in your mind. When you first wake up in the morning, are you constantly thinking about everything you need to get done and all the things that are not going right for you? I want you to slow down, take a deep breath, and really take control of your thoughts in the morning, because that will help shape your whole entire day. Because how do you expect your life to change when you are stuck in the stories that may be created from your childhood, from your past experiences? Yes, your past experiences and your childhood traumas may have shaped your mind to keep reliving these same stories. But once you recognize that these stories are not from your current circumstances and are a representation of the way you were raised and the things you had to go through when you were younger, you can take that power back. You do not have to let your past have power over you. You are here now, and whatever happened to you in the past happened in the past. And if you are struggling, it is 100% okay to talk to someone, to go to therapy, but you need to realize that you are here now. Nothing in the future, nothing in the past can dictate now. You have the power to change this story right now, but you make that decision. And once you make that decision, stick to it. You will have the moments where you are going to just want to revert to the old story because that's all you're used to. But girl, we don't have to do that anymore. When it comes to changing your self-concept, you want to start learning your triggers, and every trigger will lead to one of these 5 core limiting beliefs. First one being, is this making me feel unworthy? Is this making me feel undeserving? Is this making me feel not capable? Is this making me feel unloved? And is this making me feel like I do not belong? Because all of those are the 5 limiting beliefs that our triggers will tend to go to. So when you have a trigger, ask yourself, which one of these things is it aligning with, and how can I make myself feel more worthy? How can I make myself feel like I deserve these things? How can I make myself feel capable? And once you start realizing that these triggers and the way you're talking to yourself lead to these 5 limiting beliefs, you're able to take notes. You're able to be like, hey, this is the circumstance that's making me not feel worthy. How can I make myself feel worthy? And you go and do those things that make you feel worthy. So once again, the 5 core limiting beliefs are unworthiness, the feeling of not feeling deserving, the feeling of being incapable, feeling of being unloved, and the feeling that you do not belong. Those are the 5 limiting beliefs that your triggers will most likely all stem back to, and a lot of it comes from childhood. Maybe you didn't feel loved when you were a child. Maybe you didn't feel like you were worthy of the nice things in life. Girl, we're not in our childhood anymore, and you have the power to change all of that, to change your story, and realize that you being alive, listen to this very carefully, you being alive, put here by source, put here by God, you being alive makes you worthy of everything that you desire. There is nothing that me, the next person, makes me more worthy than you. We are all human beings. We all deserve whatever we desire in life, and you need to tell yourself. Your productivity does not determine whether you are deserving. The way you look does not determine whether you are deserving. The fact that you are here on earth is more than enough, and I need you. When you are feeling like you are incapable of doing things, when you are feeling like you don't deserve the life that you want to live, realize that just you being alive is enough. And you really have to own that when it comes to your self-concept, because if you walk around feeling like you are worthy and you are enough just because you are alive, things will change rapidly for you, because the way you view yourself is the way your life looks like on the outside. If you are constantly, like I just said, if you are constantly telling yourself you are unworthy, that everything always goes wrong for you, that is how your life is going to be. And until you get tired of living that life, things will not change, because you are the only person that has the capability of changing your own life. Once you figure out what your triggers are and what core limiting belief is being triggered, you are able to start doing things that will undo those feelings. Do things that make you feel good. Get a hobby that makes you feel loved. Surround yourself with people that make you feel worthy. Get passion into your life. When you do not have passion into your life, you get stagnant and stuck. You have to do something where you feel passion. If that's painting, if that's singing, if that's dancing, if that's creating videos, if that's making coffee, if that's going on walks, going on runs, exercising, do something where you are able to express yourself, because we are human beings, especially us women. We have so much feminine energy inside of us, and we have to allow it to flow out. You cannot allow yourself to get stuck doing work. Do this for one person, do this for the next person. I have to go here, I have to go there. You are a beautiful human being, and you deserve to express and do things that you love, because that will help you undo this story that you have been telling yourself this whole entire time. Instead of always assuming that things are going to be hard, that you have to do this and that in order to get to this destination, start assuming that everything is going the way it needs to go for you. Start assuming that the best case scenario is always happening for you. Because if you go around life assuming that everything is going to work out for you, and that God has your back, and that your story is already destined for greatness, that you are destined for greatness just because you were put here on this earth, that is what's going to help you live a beautiful life. Start training your brain to assume that better things are happening, to assume that you're about to get blessed, to assume that everything is going right for you, to assume that person you're in love with loves you back, to assume that that job position is yours already, to assume that opportunities are coming to you left and right. Because when you believe that, it will happen. But if you're stuck in that negative self-concept, which is no fault of your own to an extent, because like I said, childhood trauma, I do not want you to feel like you're guilty for thinking this way. It happens to all of us. But I want you to understand that you deserve so much more for being alive. You deserve to live that life of your dreams and to feel worthy. And you have to strip everything away from yourself and realize that God made you so worthy. And again, I'm going to preface, when I say God, that's what's comfortable for you. Source, energy, universe, replace it with that word. But God made you so worthy already. You don't have to be anybody else. You don't have to look any certain way. You are ready for the life that you deserve right here, right now, just for the fact that you're breathing. But you have to believe it and develop that great self-concept. So when you catch your brain assuming that this negative situation is going to get worse, or you catch your brain in this negative loop cycle, I want you to stop it right there. Literally envision that thought, stop it, and say, no, I'm going to assume the best case scenario is going to happen. I'm going to assume that things are going to get better. I'm going to assume that everything is working out for me. but you have to practice it because you had your whole entire life of this same story that you've been telling yourself. So start practicing and practicing and practicing, and you're going to notice that things will get easier for you, but you have to practice it. This is not something that's going to take 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe for you, and that's amazing, but you have to practice. And if it takes you a little longer to develop this great self-concept, it's okay. Like, you don't have to, it's not something that's going to be overnight. Maybe there will be a miracle for you and that will happen. You can literally say, I'm going to have a great self-concept so easily and start assuming that. But if it doesn't happen quickly for you, don't be so hard on yourself. It is okay. It is fine. You are making that progress. We are human beings. So I want to challenge you for the next week to start noticing these limiting beliefs that are coming up. Start writing them down on your notes app. Whenever you have a situation that triggers you, write it down on your notes app, and at the end of the week, evaluate this list of triggers and connect them to those core beliefs and figure out how you can fix that on your day-to-day life. Figure out what you need to do to switch up these stories and create new stories. If, let's say that you think that you are unlovable and nobody's ever going to love you, I want you to figure out how you can make yourself feel loved on your day-to-day life and start telling yourself, I am so easy to be loved. I attract the most beautiful partners into my life. I attract love into my life so easily and effortlessly. Start telling yourself these new stories because, honey, I don't ever want you to think that you do not deserve anything that anyone else has. You are just as deserving. I wish I can give a huge hug to whoever is watching this because you deserve everything. And I want you to change your self-concept and realize that you deserve everything. Because, honey, you are so beautiful and you are so worthy and you are so deserving of the life of your dreams. I hope at the end of this video you are able to realize that these limiting beliefs are just thoughts that you keep giving attention to. If you keep giving attention to these old stories, you keep giving attention to these negative thoughts, that is what manifests for you. So start giving attention to positive thoughts, start not giving attention to those ugly negative thoughts anymore, and start changing your life, because it really is that simple. I hope you took something from this video, take what resonated and leave the rest. And I challenge you to do the week challenge that I gave you. You can go ahead and message me on my Instagram if you need any more tips on self-concept. Let me know how this week of self-evaluation goes for you. Have a great week. Stay blessed. Bye.